yeah, it can be very moving if we allow ourselves to be moved by those strong feelings. One way that I make it concrete and real for me is I have in my thoughts a specific one individual 2-year-old girl. I have her in my thoughts when I imagine the future. And what's it like for her? And you may each have people that you can envision for the future. So I'd like to open now the space that we put our hands up and that we bring forward what insights, what intelligence is showing up with you, both about what it is you actually imagine and also about the specific inquiry, about the practices and the qualities that enable co-creation, and that we dance and play with this for a bit in this collective space. And I'd invite that as different voices come forward, that we allow ourselves to be the larger canvas on which they paint their vision. Please, Kiriki, help us get started.
Yeah, we co-created a rap song. So there was a call and response between Forrest and Matthew. So they co-created on the spot a rap song. So that was highly enjoyable and liberating. And yeah, just thinking of the qualities that would allow us to be, let's say, pioneering new things and exploring new things. And I don't think they are very different from the pioneers of the past. And I think it's a combination of curiosity, bravery, and being a little bit crazy. Because if you always go by the book, then probably you'll be repeating the good old stuff, which is fine. But if we want the new to come, and as Matthew said, he said, okay, let's bring something new, you know, in this world. So, yeah, we need to trust our complex and be playful and be a little brave as well. So that's what was coming at our breakup room.
Thank you. Thank you, Kiriki. So, Margaret, you are the next brave person. Please build on the bravery message, please.
Well, I was in the rap group as well. And I just wanted to bring the perspective of promotion and people saying yes to that instead of saying, oh, no, not this time. And because it provided the opportunity and the possibility to brighten up all of us. So that's what I wanted to put in.
So I started doing somatic theater, clown work, the last 3 years. And so our teacher is a Turkish lady. She's a very brave lady living in Greece. And she always says, I don't know why I'm living in Greece. From all the places I could live elsewhere, you know, I don't have any problem. But so working with her, what did I find out? Because a clown doesn't have a script. Everything is on the spot. And she always says to us, keep your energy high. Don't let your energy go lower for whatever reason. Play without stopping, endless playing. Go with the first proposal. Don't think about it. Just go for the first proposal. The next one is listen. Listen each other. let it grow. Let the proposal to grow. Doesn't matter who started the proposal. It doesn't matter who continues the proposal, who takes it on. Doesn't matter. And the other thing is who has the purity in the heart. Because that person is the one who's connected straight with God at that moment. So that's the things that I have found out. Another personal thing that I find out is that don't be familiar with ourselves.
Thank you. It's fascinating, Vangelis. But it joins a little bit with what came in my mind, which is the movie Yes Man. And for some reason came in my mind, it's such a funny movie, and I believe it's, in a way, it joins us in the sense of how to break through a world of imagination, a world of potentiality. And in that specific movie, it basically, the main character forces himself to say always yes to whatever happened. And this, to me, looks like as if he's breaking his paradigm in his own prison, basically, by just forcing himself into that rule. And at the beginning, very, very bad thing happened when he says yes to a Trump that asked for $300, and he just gave him $300. But then suddenly, little by little, good things start to come because he basically made a commitment in a way with something to say yes, and and he got stick to it, and he got with consistency. So I don't know if that's a key to some kind of success in the world, but I think each one of us need to find his own yes to something, or his own way to break through his own paradigms. But yes, such a funny movie. I wish you, I really suggest to watch it, and yeah, just to share this.
Thank you. If I stayed with you for a moment and asked you right now to break out of your paradigm and tell us what you imagine, what's the first thought that comes to mind?
It's just for now it's only images, landscapes. I see the earth and some mountains, and on a sunset. Yeah, this was the first picture that came.
Thank you. Now we moved from describing it to practicing it for a moment. So thank you for being brave. We're going to go next to Ursula, please.
Okay, hi. Just to say that in our team, we really had the feeling of the love of. So the love of family, of humanity, and having those qualities that go with the frequency of love, like bravery, like courage, like forgiveness. You know, they really belong with that frequency. And the image that turned up in my mind, which I must have had for a day, is that of a tree, an apple tree. And it turned up that I realized that the apple is connected to the source of its arising, to what gave it life. So all its nourishment comes from there. And it seems to me that it's the same with all the qualities. We are the ones that give birth to these qualities in our lifetime, with a very signature that we are. And so it's really important to keep nourishing those qualities and those intentions that we've got. Yeah, so that's what I'd say it is, and within the context of the higher frequencies of life, you know, take the idea that we're connected to the universe,
and that we, like that tree, we have an umbilical cord to the universe. So all these qualities are coming down to us. You know, it is a matter of having the perception, the quietness, the listening, to be able to receive them, to feel them, to know them, to be with them. Yeah.
It's an example of a small story that is close to one of the examples you mentioned about your 2-year-old acquaintance that is looking into the future, and someday she will think, what is there for me? And I recently got a new friend, and she's got a daughter, and I don't know this daughter, I've never met her, and but the mother was telling me about this daughter, and I thought I would really like the idea that a young person like that could receive a small gift from a person that she doesn't know. So I arranged a small T-shirt and put qualities into a package, and it was sent to her address. And I made a letter to her as trying to tell her, why would I write a letter to a person that I don't know? But I love so much the idea that you don't have to be a family or an acquaintance. You can be loved just because you are existing.
Well, hello. Yeah, I got a bit carried away with our little group, and I've written a little poem which I like to share. It's not that long, but it does, I think, encapsulate some of the things we were talking about. It goes like this. Who knows what tomorrow brings? Will the stars shine, and will the birds sing? Can we be new and fresh again? Or will we be lost in history and pain? The future onsets, we feel it so. So let's be fresh so it can grow. Our dreams of tomorrow are in the seeds of today. Will we be bright or will it be grey? The life we've been given is such a gift. So find the knack to make the shift. Not a future darkened by cloud, but one we can build, of which we can be proud. So now's the time to rearrange, for us to make a necessary change. So come on now, let's send God a letter. Help us make the future better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Yes, I decided to practice the stretching, because this was one of the things that came up in our little group, to stretch yourself in order to co-create and to use new imagination. And what caught me was that we were happy to see each other when we got into the group, and that we left inspired and with joy. And it was funny that everyone actually caught something of the inspiration and ideas of the other. And every different person took something else. And someone marked that's very important to know what you are co-creating with, if you want to be co-creator. That caught me. And someone was inspired by the little group to be free to make art every week. And another person was asking himself questions. So that tells me that self-inquiry might be important, and stretching oneself and accepting that when you are using your imagination to find new, that you may first encounter rubble, like drills that look for oil. You first get a lot of rubble that's nothing. So you need to be patient to find what's actually in the core of what you're searching for. And one image that rose up in my mind was a special place somewhere where people could gather to get new ideas, and they wouldn't mind not finding anything. So there would be patience and space to make mistakes and actually get to things. So this one image of allowing experiments to go on freely, safely. Yeah, that's it.
So let me bring up the last inquiry in line of inquiries for today and ask Paul to give us some music to be with us for 3 or 4 minutes by way of meditating and contemplating about both how do we liberate our imagination and bring to life what our souls are yearning for, and also what is the content that truly gets liberated in our imagination as we bring to life what our souls are yearning for. Paul, if you can give us another 4 or 5 minutes to just dwell with this question, please. Thank you, Paul. So let me first see if Ofer, Ari, and or Forrest, if we can bring you back for a minute to the spotlighted area. You don't have to speak, but if you want to offer anything at this point in time, I'd like to make a space.
A little bit like this music started with a, for me at least, with a slight melancholy even. There is unlearning that is involved. And this unlearning and this letting go of our paradigms, or kind of coming new to, that's something that also came up in the in our conversation before in the breakout rooms, and coming actually new to the situation and not leaving it as our body and all of our complex remember us living it before. there is some effort involved. Like you need to do something or do less of something to actually be new in a situation, to actually live it as it is now. And this unlearning, maybe that's something that we need to agree to. And from that, there is then the allowance for something else to join us. And at the same time, what could be liberating is to do it all with a degree of lightness and not taking it too seriously, which is also sometimes a question of how do you find yourself light, playful, explorative. What might trigger these ambitions or these practices in yourself, and it's nice to think that we can unlearn and we can come new. So it's reassuring somehow, and that brings me hope.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Please.
Yeah, I think one of the things I need to unlearn is, to some extent, the goal-oriented nature, like where we are working towards a concrete, definable future, and know exactly what we want. And I think that's just something our society really, really values a lot of. So yeah, kind of just stepping back from that and taking a much more incremental, feelings-based approach to stepping into the future. That's something that arose in me as you were speaking, Ofer, and also just trusting, I think, trusting that I actually do know what it is my soul needs, and that even if I can't define exactly what that is, I can still step into that. And some deeper part of me does know what my soul is yearning for, and can start to create more of that in my life. And just trusting myself to live into a more beautiful future, and knowing that that's possible, and spending time connecting with people like everyone on this call, and just kind of getting out of my way a little bit more, just not needing to have, concrete answers for things, but just spending time with amazing people and trusting that it will unfold. That's what came up for me.
Thank you. Thank you, Ari.
I'm enjoying the richness of the shares so far, and I also just want to name, I pretty much blissed out, Paul, during the last musical performance. That really took me somewhere. So thank you for sharing your gifts with us today. In terms of unlearning, I am still unlearning, trying to make it happen. Or even more simply, I'm unlearning trying, unlearning efforting, unlearning I don't know, ambition, or efforting feels like a really good word, efforting and trying. And there's just some really subtle nuances from when the impulse for action is truly sourced, and when it's a self structure that's has kind of an agenda and wants to control things or steer things or determine how things are going to unfold. And so there's like an ever deepening inquiry and noticing in me around what's where are things coming from, kind of where we started today, where are impulses and thoughts and feelings, and actions coming from, where are they sourced from, and celebrating all of it in its perfection, without making any of them right or wrong, just noticing and appreciating, and appreciating even the frustration and the unappreciating. And yeah, just unlearning in that. I would say also unlearning some like self-criticism, some self-judgment, and really bringing in that lightheartedness and playfulness that Offer you mentioned. I seem to take co-creating humanity's future seriously, and hopefully I don't take myself too seriously while I'm doing that. So yeah, aim for turning the playfulness dial up as high as I can, and then the seriousness and care dial maybe not quite as high. But yeah, it's nice to be invited into these questions and to be in a space where to deepen into them and see what wants to emerge in the question. So yeah, it's good to be here. Thanks, Aviv, and thank you for the question.
Thank you. Thank you
Well,
for.
maybe we should actually do some serious playing.
Yeah, let's get super serious real quick.
Exactly.
I'm sure that'll help.
I think we need to hear that rap song.
Well, we are arriving at the back end of this short journey today with a curious and attractive note of unlearning, and of the way I hear it, relaxing into not knowing. And yeah, very curious. There is a curious sense about this, and I noted really on the approach to today that it wanted to be different than last year, that it wanted us to maybe get to this very note we're just presencing now in the last few minutes. Sometimes you spend 2 hours on a Zoom call like this to get to a place where you are actually ready to begin. Like, we could really start a different meeting with the invitation that you're all making now about playfully searching. But then today was designed for 2 hours. I was thinking on the approach to today that I always feel more comfortable with a full day or a 3-day journey than a 2 hours, because I'm a long distance runner. I'm not a sprinter. My claim to fame at age 13 was I won the Israeli long distance running rather than the sprinter running. So, but then we will have a survey that's coming after today, and it has about it also an invitation to let us know if you are interested in perhaps longer events. I sense that simply being together and listening to what you just said, the three of you, and making space to hear those voices in ourselves, the voice that's ready to unlearn, the voice that's ready to relax from efforting too much, is a wonderful way to celebrate our collective presence, because it's when we relax all these muscles and all the shoulds that we can truly sense and appreciate and celebrate our collective presence. And the fact that whatever future we may be able to co-create truly follows the law of the tree. It grows out of our presence rather than out of the absence of something. The tree grows out of its own roots, grows from the presence of all that life affords it, in some shape or form. One kind or another, it is similar for us. Lisa, anything from your end as we bring this to landing before we bring all the voices back in?
No, I just wanted to say that I am truly amazed and moved what has been shared here today. We've all waited and anticipated today, and it's been amazing. And I do want to also say thanks to Peter and Kara Cookie I'm sorry, I'm going to call you Kiri because I could never pronounce your name. There's a lot of people that go to making up these events. So I want to thank them and all the people in the background for everything that they do for the Portals of Perception project. And thank you all. So I will bring in our friends to close.
So please let us all bring our voices and say good day and carry on imagining and unlocking new futures for all of us.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.